In just a moment, I received a question that I thought was a very interesting question that could be very helpful for people who want to know a little bit more about Chinese, about the Chinese language. And the question is that, well, there are multiple characters in the Tao Te Ching that are all translated as not. Some form of negation. So from the English speaker's perspective, it can be kind of puzzling, like why all these different characters to say the same thing? Not, isn't that pretty easy? And so do these different characters, are they synonyms to one another? So there's bu, which I have on the slide here. There's also wu, being without, and there's also fei. So even in the first line of chapter 1 of the Tao Te Ching, you've got Dao Ke Dao, Fei Chang Dao. The Dao that is, the Dao that can be spoken is not the eternal Dao. So there's a Fei character there, which means not. How is that different from Bu? So I've prepared a few slides so I can go through that quickly with everybody. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible and not overwhelm anyone with too much information. So this character here, bu, is the character for not. So that's the simplest possible translation for that, not or no. So some examples, 不好. So 好, the second character, that's very useful. It means good. It's used all the time in English, in Chinese, because it's part of our greeting to one another. So when you say 你好, that's a greeting. It just means hello, but literally it means you are well. So 不好 means no good, not good. 不要, 要 means to want something. So 不要 means to not want something. 不能, 能 is can or able to. So 不能 means cannot or unable. So 不 means just not. So how is that different from wu? Well, let's take a look at the second of the very common negation characters that is found in the Tao Te Ching. So let me go to that slide. So wu isn't not, quote unquote. It's different. It means without or not having, to have none. So in the Tao Te Ching, wu wei, we see that quite a bit. So superficially, it's translated as without doing. But the deeper meaning is that it's without attachment. So it means detached. And then 无知, so that means without knowledge, literally without knowledge. So what that is ignorance. To be ignorant is to be without knowledge. And then 无用. So note that while ng, yong is pronounced with the O sound. So 无用 means without usefulness or without use. Or in other words, useless. So if we were to change wu here into bu, we get completely different meaning. So that is one way to say that they are not synonymous. They're not interchangeable with one another. So instead of wei, if I say bu wei, that just means that I'm not doing it, not do. And if I say 不知, that's different from 无知. 无知 is to be ignorant. 不知 is to not know something. Like, I don't know. To not know something doesn't mean necessarily that you are ignorant. It just means that you don't have that information available to you at that time. So in English, I think it's clear to everyone that to be without knowledge as an ignorant person is distinctively different from just happening to not know something at a particular time. So there you go. That's one way you can tell what the difference is. 不用, if we change 无用, useless, to 不用, that just means you are not using something. So I might say that, as an example, in case of fire, do not use the elevator, use the staircase. So that would be 不用. It doesn't say that the elevator is generally useless, 无用. Elevator is usually quite useful. So that's the difference between the two. Finally, we have 非, the character that means is not. So note that this is different from just not by itself. So if I say 非常, not normal, not usual, it's another way to say very or extremely. And you can mix and match in some cases. So recall to mind that we have the character for good or positive in that first slide there, 好. So if I say 非常好, if I put this at the end of those two characters there, if I insert that here, 非常好, that means very good. Unusually good, extremely good. 非法, 法 means law, as in the legal system. 非法 is not legal or illegal. 非礼, so Confucius had taught his students that if it's 非礼, if it's not polite, not proper, not in accordance with etiquette, then 非礼, don't look at it. 非礼勿视. And if it's improper, 非礼, don't listen to it. 非礼勿听. And in a similar manner, he goes on to say that if it is improper, don't do it. If it is improper, don't say it. So the behavior of an honorable gentleman in the Chinese culture is that when they see something that is improper, they don't pass it on. That would be engaging in gossip. If they see something that is improper, they won't take it. They won't try to, hey, no one's noticing. Maybe I'll just kind of grab that for myself. So this mensch, this Confucian gentleman would be proper and in accordance with the Tao teachings at all times, whether or not there's other people around, whether or not he's being observed. So 非礼, not polite, literally means impolite or rude. So I hope you get a feeling now for how those different characters have subtly varying definitions from one another. Those characters are very common in the Tao Te Ching. As an example, chapter 1 does not have the 不 character, but pretty much all other chapters, you will see it there. And, it's the same with the 无 wei is used a lot throughout the Tao Te Ching. So these are some of the most common characters in the Tao Te Ching. So I hope that is a good Mandarin quick lesson for everyone. I'm getting feedback that this is very helpful, so I hope that you find it interesting as well. Now, let's go ahead and do the meeting ending ritual, everybody. 起立，面向佛堂，持架三鞠躬，一鞠躬，再鞠躬，三鞠躬，持架规则是一鞠躬，接班一鞠躬。Okay, everybody, we are done.
Participate in the Tao meeting by joining us online. For information, go to Taoism.net/Tao.